Echoes in the Rain. Episode 1, The Whispering Rain. A Pisces story. Caraway wakes to rain that sounds like listening. The streets reflect neon whispers, and the old library, its glass doors gleaming in the wet light, sits at the heart of town, guarding a story that hasn't chosen its ending. Mira's sun in Pisces, moon in Pisces, with a Cancer rising, a blend that gives her a deep oceanic empathy and a tide-like intuition. The rain here is more than weather, it's a mood translator, a current that helps Mira hear what memory wants to say. Mira lives above the library, where the building itself seems to breathe with the town's stories. Her gift isn't loud or dramatic, it's patient, a sensitivity born from a near drowning she survived as a child. Since then, rain has carried voices, the fragments of lives that once touched Caraway, placing them where they belong, inside the objects that still keep a memory safe. On nights like this, Mira's routine is as predictable as the tide. She closes the library, climbs the creaking stairs to her apartment, and looks out over the town square as rain fine-grains the world. The oldest wing of the library holds a drawer that time forgot, a drawer Mira has guarded since she was young, when her grandmother whispered that the library remembers every name that has passed through Caraway. Tonight, the drawer seems to breathe with something new. From the oldest drawer slides a rain-scorched postcard, pale and brittle, its ink blurred where the sea would have wiped it clean. One name, one deliberate erasure, still legible, as if someone had decided to erase a life rather than a word. The postcard bears a postmark from years past, and its date corresponds with a ledger entry in the library's main archive, a missing resident notice that has never been fully explained. Mira studies the postcard, sensing not just the damp texture but the emotion behind it, the sorrow of someone erased from memory, the fear that a note in ink could alter a family's heartbeat. Her Pisces empathy reads the air between the lines, a whisper of guilt or protection. Mira moves to the town ledger, the spine creaking like an old friend. A marginal note, ink newer in appearance but aged oddly, speaks of a water-right decision and hints at a room behind the shelf. The note's line is faint, but the handwriting is precise, as if the writer wanted the memory of that space to survive disaster and time. Cross-referencing the postcard's date with the ledger, Mira notes a corner shelf in the library that looks ordinary, yet bears a micro-seam along its edge. She nudges the shelf gently. It gives, revealing a hidden passage behind it. The air behind is cooler, carrying a scent of old bark and damp stone. A narrow door behind the shelf waits for a key Mira hasn't yet found. In the quiet after the rain settles, Mira tests the reference desk, the place where readers leave notes and staff hide small tools. A small key is taped beneath the desk's lip, plain and unremarkable, except for the faint imprint of handwriting on its tag, a handwriting that matches the ledger's marginal note. The key's weight feels like a small obligation in her palm. It belongs to the hidden room behind the shelf, the door that never chose to open for the living unless the right key found its way to it. 3 artifacts align in Mira's mind, the erased name on the postcard tied to a missing resident, the ledger's note pointing to a hidden room behind the shelf, and the key that unlocks the door. Each clue feels purposeful, as if placed not by accident, but by someone who wanted future readers to find a trail, one that would force Caraway to confront a memory it has long avoided. She sketches a simple timeline on the desk, linking the postcard date, the ledger hint, and the key's discovery, letting the rain pressure the edges of truth into view. The whispers aren't prophecies about the future. They're echoes of choices already made, surfacing when the town is ready to act. The rain insists that someone remember what happened, so the town might decide what to do about it now. The memory voices invite a reckoning, a chance to understand what was buried and why it still influences today's choices. Mira stands at a crossroads that tests the soul of a librarian. If she reveals the full memory, she could trigger a reckoning that unsettles the town's quiet balance and harms people living with the past's weight. If she keeps the memory quiet, the town may drift, never confronting what has shaped so much of its present. A figure stands in the rain outside the library, eyes fixed on Mira's window. The figure knows Caraway's buried memory and has waited for Mira to move. The meeting in the rain will come, and the truth will want its moment. Some truths bend when spoken aloud, but the rain does not bend. Only the listener can bend with it. If rain can speak, who will listen when memory Mira finally turns away from the window, her mind heavy with the burden of choice? As she lights a candle, the room fills with its flickering glow, a fragile hope against the impending shadows of truth. Downstairs, the library creaks silently, alone with its stories once more. Yet, there's a lifeline in Mira's mind, a chance to steer the town's future along the jagged coast of its past. With the key in hand, she approaches the concealed door. Each step mirrors centuries of stories, each heartbeat an echo of those who've walked before. As her fingers hover over the keyhole, her breath mingles with the dust-tinged air, a whisper of destiny finally exhaled, waiting for the confrontation between history and the present. Rain outside grows insistent, its rhythm a companion to Mira's pulse, each drop urging her forward, each whisper reminding her of the stakes. Beyond the door, the story waits. Caraway's future teeters as Mira turns the key, poised at the edge of revelation. With a steadying breath, Mira finally slides the key into the lock. She listens as the tumblers yield with a reluctant click. The door opens to reveal a small, dusty room untouched for decades, its walls bearing remnants of old maps and photographs that tell stories all their own. Among the relics lies a journal, its pages yellowed and fragile. Mira traces her fingers over its cover, feeling the embossed initials, R.B., wonders unfurling in her mind about who penned these pages and why they were hidden away. Carefully, Mira opens the journal, uncovering entries that speak of a time when Caraway was still forming, secrets whispered between the lines. She reads tales of unresolved decisions, of promises made and broken, all tied to the rain that seems to know each story by heart. The door behind her swings slightly with a gust of wind, a gentle reminder of the present moment. Mira closes the journal gently, knowing the path to healing must start with understanding. Back in her apartment, with rain rhythmically murmuring against the window, Mira sits with the journal in her lap, contemplating the weight of its stories and what unveiling them might mean for Caraway's future. A soft knock at the door draws her from her thoughts. The figure she saw before stands there, rain-drenched, offering a silent plea for entry. Mira opens the door slowly. The rain-streaked figure steps in, removing their hood to reveal a familiar face, one who shares a connection to the past and the journal. In this shared glance, Mira understands that together they will unravel what has long been hidden and decide what is worth revealing. With an unspoken agreement, the figure joins Mira by the candlelight, the rain outside a persistent witness as they prepare to piece together the puzzle of Caraway's history. As the figure settles into the old armchair by the fire, their eyes alight with the curiosity and concern that mirror Mira's own, they begin to speak of the past, weaving tales of the library's first keeper, known only as R.B., whose legacy left an indelible imprint on Caraway. R.B. was much like you, Mira, deeply connected to the rain and the whispers it carried. He believed in preserving truth at any cost, even if it meant hiding it until the right moment.
So the journal, it's not just a record. It's a guide, a beacon for those of us who would see Caraway understand itself fully.
Indeed, the discussion illuminates the intricate dance between history and legacy, the choice to shield versus the need to confront. Every secret unfurled seems to lead not to chaos, but a deeper understanding of the forces that shaped them. The library now feels alive, as if its very foundation stirs with anticipation. Mira and her companion move with a shared purpose, each step echoing a past influenced by choice and chance.
It's time, isn't it, to let these stories breathe, to let Caraway finally meet its reflection.
Yes, and we must ensure they are told with the care and responsibility they deserve, for truth is a fragile yet powerful tool. In that moment, the rain, still whispering its truths beyond the windows, seems to shield their resolve, promising that the revelations they wield will not shatter, but cleanse. The initials in the journal wait as a doorway. In episode 2, the missing name will surface, and the visitor in the shadows will lead Mira to the truth Caraway has kept hidden. Comment for part 2.